Year 2016. The word post-truth became the Oxford Dictionary's International Word of the Year. Strangely enough, the origins of the word lie neither with those deemed undereducated nor with their newfound champions. Instead, the original work on post-truth was accomplished by academics with further contributions from a wide-ranging roster of middle-class professionals. The vogue it enjoyed was essentially driven by academics, journalists, creatives, and financial traders, even the center-left politicians who have now been hit hard by the rise of what should have been actually termed as anti-factual than post-truth. One may find that the documented origins of the word to 1992, but the fact is that groundwork rendering validity to such a term was in making for last 40 years. More than 30 years ago, academics started to first criticize and gradually discredit truth as one of the grand narratives, which perceptive people could no longer believe in. Instead of the truth, which was to be rejected as naive or repressive, a new intellectual orthodoxy permitted only truths, which was always plural, frequently personalized, and inevitably relativized. Under the terms of this outlook, all claims in truth are relative to the particular person making them, and hence there could be no possible position outside our own particulars from where we can establish truth beyond the knower. This was one of the key tenets of postmodernism, a concept which first caught on in 1980s after publication of Jean-François Lyotard's Postmodern Condition, a report on knowledge in 1979. In this respect, for as long as we have been postmodern, we have been setting the scene for a post-truth era. In this post-truth era, no other domain of knowledge has suffered as much as history. Within the confines of postmodern lay some very useful ideas about how and what should be the new agenda for history. But when postmodern is translated into post-truth, history becomes a convenience which can be easily weaponized. Unresolved history became definitive in itself. Focus on marginality became self-pompous identity assertion exercise, allowing us to believe in multiplicity of identities, but choose one as per our convenience and opportunity. Methodologically, all types of objects became historical evidence without any clearly demarcated limits to interpretation beyond self-constraint. Through all these, it seems as if we have started our march to a quasi-intellectual anarchism being witnessed through an ongoing process of fragmentation of history, where popular history is indeed the dominant form of history writing. In these conditions, one is bound to ask, is this trend actually eroding the foundations of history? As a discipline, genuinely interested in understanding the human past and its probable future? As claims to such a quest blur beyond doubt, one cannot miss the newfound love for mocking the so-called academic historians. As historians, those who do not conform to this new trend, perpetuated through all-powerful media, market, and politics, become more marginalized. One thing is certain, that the modern establishment, marked by most unequal societies, loves such fragmented histories, which can be their handmaidens, justifying and hiding their vested interests. This state of affairs of history is a wake-up call to humanities and social sciences, and therefore we need to really ask, what is history again? In this video series, I intend to rediscover history for myself through critically examining major ideas and books which once defined history as a discipline and also the ones which have challenged it. I strongly believe that in such a disconcerting times, every reflective person should join the debate rather than just stand as a malleable consumer of intentionally garbled ideas being served as histories. In the new emerging market of our past, which cannot resist the temptation to look at it as just another commodity. The point is not also to merely criticize these trends, but to investigate what already has been said on the major questions of history. I'm ready for surprising myself to find out that we have neither said anything new, nor we have asked any new fundamental question, essentially. If that turns out to be true, we certainly cannot shrug off the responsibility to decipher the meaning of history in this age of wealth, inequality, and discontentment. This is indeed going to be a fascinating journey, and I'm sure about that. We will begin our journey by exploring how the ideas of history have evolved over a period of time, and what are its definitive features which it acquired and why. We will examine the landmark works which were instrumental in shaping the discipline of history as we know it today. With a systematic account of the defining tenets, which indeed includes major debates within it, we will also systematically scrutinize its dissenters and their criticisms. Through such a deep dive, I sincerely hope, though I cannot be really certain about it, we can get to the bottom of the challenges facing history today and take a judicious stand on what history is, can and should be, and why in the 21st century. And I welcome you in this journey on board.